So here's my recipe. I start out with beets. Beets have this unbelievable natural sweetness, you know, so they're like nature's candy. And you can sweeten your cupcakes with these, but you're also getting the benefit of all of the phytonutrients and vitamins that fruits and vegetables bring to the table. So I'm going to start out with my lovely beets, and look at how beautiful those are. You can use canned beets or fresh beets. I'm also going to use a cup of stevia. And the reason I'm using stevia is because it's low glycemic index. So whether you're diabetic or not, this is a no-calorie substitute. And the cool thing is that you won't miss the sugar. And then I'm going to add in my almond milk. There are so many great alternatives to dairy. You can do almond milk, you could do soy milk, you can do coconut milk, I mean, whatever your preference is. So I'm going to add a cup of my almond milk in here. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And pure vanilla extract is just going to give it this great flavor. And just add that in there. The last piece of the liquid is egg whites. And the egg whites are just going to give it a little body. You don't have to use whole eggs, which adds to the cholesterol. You can use the egg whites. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up first. And I always recommend starting as low as you can. Work it around. And you can use a hand blender, you can use a regular whisk if you want to. You don't have to go out and buy any fancy appliances or anything. Use what you've got at home. So I'm moving that around, I got it nice and blended. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slowly add in the egg whites. And the egg whites, again, are gonna give it that nice body. But I do this slowly so that I don't make cooked eggs. Give it another good mix. So now that I have this all done, I'm just going to add my dry ingredients to this directly. I've got 2 cups of gluten-free flour. I just like the gluten-free because it tends to make the food lighter. Again, we're lightening everything up, we're giving it that nice springy flavor in the cupcake, and I love gluten-free. I'm a big fan. So we're going to add that in. And then I'm going to add in a half a cup of cocoa powder. And the great thing about cocoa powder is if you look at the ingredients and see that it's at least 70% pure cocoa, that's great for your heart. I mean, who doesn't love chocolate too, baby? Yeah, that's right. So I've got my chocolate in there, and then I've got the pièce de résistance, as they say, my dark chocolate chips. Because again, you're getting that heart health benefit from the chocolate. Come on. Who doesn't love a little chocolate? And what's great is when these bake, they make the center really nice and gooey and soft, and every bite is like luscious. It's so good. And then I've got a little bit of salt, and then I've got 1 teaspoon of baking soda here. So that's it, super easy. Then I'm gonna start this up. Where remember, we said, let's just make life easy and not dirty up a bunch of bowls, right? So I'm doing everything in the one bowl. Let's clean up later. Okay, so I've got that nice and blended. Bring my batter, and I've got my lined cupcake tin here. And I love the liners because then you don't have to use any added fat, right? Just put those in. So I've got my ice cream scoop. I'm gonna measure out the scoop here, okay? And every cupcake liner will get about a scoopful. So it makes it really easy to measure. And you don't want to overfill these or else you'll have like a cupcake explosion in your oven. So I'm almost done filling this tray and I'm ready to pop these into the oven. Gorgeous. My cupcakes are done. Really excited to take a look at these babies. Yeah, they look so good. That secret red color that we saw in the batter, that's on the inside. But on the outside, they just look like regular old cupcakes. Okay, so while those cool, you want to make sure that they've cooled for at least 15 to 20 minutes so that when you frost them, it doesn't like slide across your cupcake. I'm gonna make our frosting. Even with the frosting, we're making every bite count. And again, before you go, cauliflower, okay? Who would have ever thought to put vegetables in your frosting? But you won't even taste it really because The other ingredients balance it out, and again, it just kind of complements everything else. So I'm gonna take my cauliflower, which I've steamed until it's fork tender, about 10 minutes or so, and I'm gonna drop it into my food processor, and then I'm gonna add in my cream cheese, okay? This is not regular dairy cream cheese. This is made without dairy. So I'm taking my 8-ounce container, and I'm gonna just empty it in to the food processor. And then I'm also gonna put stevia sweetener, and I'm gonna do half a cup of that. So I'm just gonna eyeball the vanilla. I'm gonna put in about 2 teaspoons of that, roughly. Okay, ready? We're gonna blend up our frosting now, guys. And you're just gonna let this baby go for a while because I want it nice and smooth and creamy. Probably about 2 minutes. Okay, look at the consistency of this, my friends. That is so luscious. Yeah, you're a rock star. You just made that. You didn't have to buy that. Okay, now I've got a really cool tip for you. Just take a plastic bag about this size, maybe even a little bit smaller, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna fill with your frosting. I'm gonna let it settle to the bottom, and then what I'm gonna do, squeeze the air out of it, and I'm gonna start to squeeze it down to a point, and then I'm gonna cut a little hole in the bottom, just a little bitty hole. Okay, and then you're just gonna top each cupcake with a little crown of frosting. Just like so. Give it a nice generous douse, and look at that. You're like a real pastry chef at home. And then you can take a little coconut and spread that shredded coconut over the top. Give it a little crown. If you're not a big coconut fan, you can give it a little dusting of cocoa powder or cinnamon, whatever you like. Look at how cute those are. And then you've got gourmet, beautiful cupcakes that are good for you.
Ready, set, cook. Subscribe or watch another Recipe Rehab how-to video right now. And don't forget to watch Fitness Guinea Pig, where we test today's hottest workout and diet trends.